Hey guys, it's Mo from Mo in the Deep End, a mom of six, just out here on the internet looking at crime, current events, court, and all other sorts of shenanigans. So today I was looking at different things to maybe look at some retro cases that we could go over, and I stumbled upon like the grossest, most stomach churning, most ridiculous thing that I have ever gosh darn seen. I'm trying to be better. It's a Sunday. I'm a try for Jesus on Sunday to not cuss my ever living brains off until I'm with Sal. Cause I think there's a Jesus like there is a roundabout like if you are with Salbert, you are exempt from no cursing. I'm pretty sure. It's somewhere in Deuteronomy, Leviticus. It's somewhere back there. It was foretold. Any hoozle, after we are done with that tangent, I was looking at some older cases with kind of weird court tie-ins, and I found this. I don't know that I'm going to cover this case because I'm afraid that I would incite because my chat is awesome, my people are awesome. We would all be tempted to go get wood chippers because this is about it. You will get big mad angry when I read this because I was big mad angry that I didn't know about this um until now. I mean, this is a much older case, y'all. It's from or happenings, I guess. This is from 2000, but to say I was beyond shocked was ridiculous. So, in August 31st, 2000, the ACLU, or the American Civil Liberties Union, represented Nambla, the man boy love group. Y'all, it gets worse. It gets much worser. Like, Mr. Mo had to actively tell me I could not buy a welding machine because we do happen to have, allegedly in Minecraft, a Ford Transit. And I may or may not celebrate Killdozer Day. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Allegedly, this is not advice. Lord, y'all, if you are watching me for life advice, there have been many a things have gone wrong on this logic train. But yeah, just future warning, this is about the best bit of this. The title is about entry level shenanigans. It gets worse. Citing the First Amendment, the American Civil Liberties Union is defending a group that supports PEDs against a civil lawsuit filed by a family of a SA'd boy that was also unalived in Massachusetts. The parents of 10-year-old Jeffrey Curley, I'm so sorry, filed a wrongful death lawsuit seeking damages from the North American Man Boy Love Association, or Nambla. And again, South Park did not invent this. They just brought this to the forefront, and everyone thought that there was no way in hell something that ridiculous and terrible could exist. But no, I contend with, again, this is another tangent, but I contend that Mike Judge and Trey Parker and Matt Stone were able to see the future, and God said they could come back and be modern day prophets, but they had to all make it look like satire to not, you know, let our reptile overlords know that we knew that they knew that we knew, as you knew. Let's back on track. For the 1997 SA and unaliving of their son. Another defendant in the suit is web provider Vireo Inc. for hosting the website, because I'm not going to give them any more press about that. The suit accuses that particular organization of inciting Jeffrey's unalive and SA at the hands of Charles Janes and Salvatore Sicari through its literature and website, which is now offline. Both men were convicted of unaliving Jeffrey in separate trials and are serving life sentences. According to the Curley suit, Janes was a member of this particular organization under an alias at the time of the slaying. Janes, the plaintiff says, had viewed that particular website shortly before the murder. That particular website's literature showing members how to gain a child's trust, gain access to children nationwide, and avoid police investigation for peed things were also found in Jane's car and apartment, targeted for their beliefs. ACLU officials say that this particular organization denies encouraging the assault and unaliving of anyone. No, they just make it easier for these creepos to work. You know what, ACLU? I When I was going to school and I learned what you did in, I wanna say Skokie, Illinois, where you stood up for the most unpopular, most ridiculous, stupid people ever going to an Illinois town of, Holocaust survivors. I thought, "Okay, they really do mean what they say. They are standing up for the worst of us." But I'm sorry. I am sorry. That was before I had kids. That's before there were certain lines in the sand, okay? That was when I was an idealistic 10-year-old who, with my very hippie teacher, thought that the ACLU could do no wrong, okay? But there's a line in the sand. Kids, animals, old people. I I don't care. I'm full Steven Crowder on this issue. You have these proclivities, you can go to a town. We will give you Arizona. We will move our lovely, lovely Sal out of there and any other refugees who wanna leave God's fiery butthole. And I'm sorry, I make fun of Arizona, but just the thought of being that hot and in a dry heat, I just no, no. Watch me move to Arizona too. I'm sorry, this has just been all of the tangents because I'm so irritated that I don't wanna even deal with this particular subject, but I definitely want to go back and, maybe in another section, look at some of the ACLU's doing because I definitely think there might need to be a defund the ACLU if we are all on board with boycotting things now. I just I Let's continue to see what this according to the ACL, why they found this to be the one, line in the sand they were gonna defend. Because God forbid they defend, any no, we're not gonna get political on this. We will read the article. I am very sorry for all the tangents today. Like I said, this has gotten me big, big mad. And I wanted to make you all big, big mad. I'm sorry. Let's see. According to the ACLU, the suit is designed to stifle dissemination of the group's unpopular beliefs, advocating for consensual relationships between men and boys, abolishing age of consent laws that classify any sort of that makes crime a crime, that calls it what it is and says that kids can't consent to not a doggone thing. Just wood chippers for oh my goodness, y'all, it just gets worse. There was nothing in those publications or websites which advocated or incited the commission of any illegal acts. I'm pretty sure that if you go fiddle with a kid, that's an illegal act. But, far be it from me to deny love is love and all this other BS crap. But there is a line in the goddamn sand, and I think people are getting to it. Like, look, y'all, I don't care what you want to do. Keep animals, keep kids, keep non-consenting old people out of it. Just let your freak flag fly at home. I don't care. You wanna be a scaly, furry, ninja on the weekends, that is awesome. I am proud of you. Sewing that costume must have been awesome. Leave me out of it. I don't wanna be bothered. I don't tell y'all about Mr. Mo being a well, I do tell y'all about Mr. Mo, but I don't tell everyone, just you lovely internet people. But I'm just saying, I don't care. I don't care, but you all people have lines in the sand, and a lot of people's lines in the sand are kids, okay? They're kids. I'm I'm sorry. This is whoever told the ACLU this was the case and the hill they needed to die on, and the fact that this went way over my head because I was a sophomore in high school, and we were just all joking with South Park thinking it was kind of a joke organization, and the ACLU stood with these people against a family who had their son horrifically taken from them by members. I I y'all, I can't there has to be some sort of come together we can all do, whether it's, "Hey, you're a Democrat, I'm a Re not even a Republican anymore. I'm a something, you're a something, but we can all agree that kids need to be left the hell out of some stuff." I'm just I'm about alright. Said John Roberts, the executive director of the ACLU's Massachusetts chapter. This particular organization's publication advocate for changing society's views about consensual things which cannot possibly happen between adults and minors because kids cannot consent. I fixed your article for you. This advocacy is political speech protected by the First Amendment. You know what? I think we need a Ouija board because 'cause I'm gonna go ahead and go near, Hamilton's grave, go near, um, John Adams' grave, and I'll just, Ouija, like, "Did the First Amendment help with kid fiddling?" And they're gonna say, "F no." And we'll have our answer. I'm also gonna ask them about the Second Amendment while we're at it, so because it was written as about clear as they could make it back then, but, for everyone now who seems to not be able to read or understand historical context, perhaps. Y'all, I'm in a ranty mood. I'm gonna actually relabel this a rant. So, if y'all wanna hear me be pissed off for, like, 15 minutes, I'm probably gonna put a warning in the description because it's pretty much all it's been. I apologize, but like I said, big hot mad. Quote, "We urge the public not to jump to conclusions about Nambla." No, I'm okay. Look, judge ye away when it comes to ye old Nambla. Pretty sure it's in freaking Leviticus, okay? Based on the allegations appearing in the press and the Curly's complaint, end quote, Roberts added in his statement. Quote, "We also urge consideration of consequences to freedom of speech by holding authors, musicians, or filmmakers liable in damages or for crimes committed by individuals who have read, heard, or seen their work." End quote. Again, here's the problem with that. You're according to this article, this particular website, this particular publication, this men's group of men that have to stay far away from schools does advocate for illegal things. Grooming children is illegal. Being all cr You know what? I'm just saying, regardless of whatever political stripes, creed, anything, 99% of us out here, if you start a fiddling with our kids, um, the pushback's gonna be y'all have already started to see the little pushback. You start messing with kids more, things are gonna get real ugly real quick. And that is allegedly in Minecraft. That is not incitement. Do not listen to me when I am big hot mad. Big hot mad Mo is not logical Mo, and I should never be used as life advice and or any sort of goal to be. All right. National Ped Conspiracy. But Lawrence Frizzoli, the attorney representing the Curleys, says the ACLU is, quote, missing the point of the lawsuit. Frizzoli claims the Curleys are not trying to deprive Nambla leaders of their right to share their beliefs. I'd be okay to say I was, but instead, he says they are trying to bring down an organizational structure that set the stage for Jeffrey's um, abuse and murder. Quote, "No one alleges that they shouldn't be allowed to share their beliefs. That's their right," end quote, Frizzoli said, adding that the lawsuit is focusing on Nambla's action. Nambla's principal leaders were the ones who wrote the brochures and sent them out. We allege because of that, Nambla has been part of an ongoing criminal conspiracy to abuse children. We intend to hold them accountable. I don't know, that logic train works for me. Like I said, y'all, I usually don't have good logic trains. I usually have nebulas of thought. But, that train is straight to the point and lands right on target. So, yep, I'm not seeing a problem here, ACLU. Rizzoli claims investigators uncovered Jane's diary where he admits to having problems dealing with his desires to fiddle with children. James later revealed that he felt Nambla's teachings validated his feelings. Like I said, y'all, I'm all for guilty on this. Besides the diary, Frizzoli says he has depositions from an ex-girlfriend and several close friends who testified that James was always a heterosexual male who became obsessed with having relations with minors only after joining Nambla. Those poor leaders are in hiding. I'm waiting. Yeah, I don't feel anything. Should I? No, I don't care. You, again, fiddle with children. We set you up a town in the middle of goddamn Wyoming. You leave that town, you have to have a ankle brace. I don't, y'all. y- I no, I'm not having it no more. NAMBLA has not revealed whether Jane's was ever one of its members. Since the Curley filed their suit in May, the group has not responded to any pretrial discovery motions. Frizzoli says he's happy that the ACLU is representing NAMBLA so that case can go forward. He has had trouble finding the group's members. Still, the ACLU attorneys, citing U.S. Supreme Court cases from the 1960s that protected the NAACP's civil rights activities in the South, say they will try to block any attempt by the plaintiffs to get NAMBLA's membership list or material identifying members. The ACLU will also act as a surrogate for NAMBLA, allowing its members to defend themselves in court while remaining anonymous. Well, won't someone think of the poor peds? Won't someone think of them? Again, working on it. Nope, still could not give less of a F about their rights. And I'm sorry, I know you're supposed to carry your principles, but I think even Steve Gosney would be with me on this. This is a line in the god dang sand, and it's about time to do some Hank Hill, Red Rhett Foreman kinda justice. Kicking the butt is allegedly on Minecraft what some people need. Prosecutors said that Janus and Sakari lured Jeffrey Curley to Janus' Cadillac with a promise of $50 and a bicycle on October 1st, 1997. They convinced two juries that the men brutally attacked. They did. They brutally attacked him and then covered him in concrete and dumped the container into the main river. Last week, the Curleys won a civil suit against James and Sakari when the jury awarded them 328 million. Okay, newsflash, and I know this is back in the way old past, but those two men are still in El Prisión. So I don't know where the heck they were going to get 300, bajillion jillion dollars. But that's a case that I've found, and it really has lit a fire in under me to see what else is it that the ACLU is actually covering, because I don't co-sign this. I don't co-sign this at all. I have been looking at older cases like when I was in high school, um, and it is just I I can't. This is the most disturbing thing I've seen. There's a line in the sand, and I can't believe that the ACLU picked I mean, I can now, but I didn't think they were this bad 23 years ago. I guess, it's when you start paying attention, and maybe I would have saw this as a meme. To be very honest, you in 20 or in 2000, I was, a junior in high school. I thought everything was, totally satirical and stupid, and of course, South Park. So I may not have seen this as a really tipping point for some terrible, terrible things that have been coming through lately, uh, but, looking back at it, this is horrifying, and so I definitely will be looking more into different things that the ACLU has, gone through and looked at, but I definitely this is shocking to me, and it's really made me think I as parents, as citizens, even if you don't have kids, we are our voting patterns, however you choose to vote, um, your local sheriffs, everything, you know, Sound of Freedom has woken a lot of people up. I have yet to see it. It's kind of like Oppenheimer. I'm gonna be very honest with you. I have to be in the mood to watch something like that because I know it's important. It gives a story that needs to be told, but, it's going to be a heavy one, and this is definitely something that maybe not a whole lot of cases, but if I find 1 or 2 cases that really was fairly underrepresented at the time, or I didn't really think about at the time, that involve kids and getting justice for kids, I might start doing them, but this was just holy cow. I could not believe it, and it's definitely given me a lot of food to for thought, and I hopefully it's given you some, and you got to, you know, rage with me a bit, and I will see you guys later, just it's one of those things that having kids having knowing kids, being around kids, it really does change how your lines in the sand. It really does change a lot of things, and hopefully my next video should be better, it should be funny, or at least something different, so I'm not so rage-filled and just hateful. So, thank you for letting me rage, and I will make other videos, so hopefully we don't have to stick with this yuckiness for a while, and have a great rest of your Sunday, and if you're not watching this on Sunday, have the great rest of your whatever day it is.